I just bought this 79-year-old airplane, and you can imagine there's one problem. Or two. Or lots.
Scary.
This is such a bad idea. Today, I'm gonna try to start this for the first time in more than 7 years.
My wife bought the airplane. It was my engagement ring. She got a ring. I got an airplane, which is why I'm so emotionally attached to Penelope here.
He loved flying this airplane all over the country until a concerning engine diagnosis was discovered. Life got busy, and it has sat ever since. Back in 1946, you could buy one of these for only $2,695. Today, these are selling for over $40,000. And I bought Penelope for only $10,000. But yes, it needs some work. So we'll see if I made a good choice or not. Let's check out the interior and see what 1947 looks like. It smells like an old car. It smells like my old 310, the 56 310, where it's that mixture of vinyl and different oil and exhaust and
Old
metal.
airplane smell.
Old airplane smell. Oh, wow.
But this is very rare. This is highly desirable.
What in the
There
world?
is your rear seat.
I want to see you get... This is no private jet.
Michael!
I'm going to see if we can get in the back seat. Oh. There, I mean, we're in.
There you go. Ready to do a cross country?
Yeah.
Over water?
Yeah. I got my life jacket on. It's got skylights too.
It does.
This reminds me of an old Datsun or Nissan pickup truck. The little extended cab back seat thing that was like this wide. There's an armrest in the
6
back.
inches, and they said it was an extended cab.
Yeah. This was one of the first airplanes made after the war that had an all-metal construction. The fuselage is even covered in metal. The wings are still fabric, and those could be an issue because I don't know how old they are, and if they need to be redone, that's really expensive too. Surprise, surprise, welcome to airplane world. Rule number 1, you never buy an airplane from Florida. This airplane is made out of aluminum. Florida is made out of salt, and salt and aluminum equal corrosion. I was already told that this engine might need a full overhaul, which is insanely expensive. That's not always the case, and I'm going to try to fix it myself. Now that we've looked it over, I realize just how important this airplane is.
We love the airplane. She has such history for my wife and I in our relationship. Our first airplane, my first airplane, literally my engagement ring. So we're emotionally attached. And we haven't been able to let her go. And but it's not right for her to sit here and not being flown. So maybe we can work something out.
Boy, I hope this works out. So today we're going to work on this thing and see if we can't get it to make some life and find out if in fact the engine is any good and we can save it, or if I just bought a gigantic paperweight. In a healthy engine, it should be very difficult to turn this propeller. There's nothing in this at all. Oh, there's one. And yes, the mag switches are turned off. There's zero compression in this thing. To find out why, I need to use this tiny camera and look inside. All those black dots are bad news. That's rust pitting on the inside of this engine. The other side of the engine was just as bad. I honestly don't know if this engine will start. From here, we do need to look at the fuel system. I don't know how much rust is going to be in there. Kind of afraid. The fuel tanks are on top of the wings up here. So I think I'm gonna use my borescope and look in there to see if we've got rust in the fuel tanks. Here's the cap coming off. Is it rusty? Yes. Yes, it is. Holy cow. It's actually clean. There's a win. the fuel tank over here is clean. Sweet. Let's go take a look at that one over there. Holy cow. I think we've just got a win. Sweet! We've got a win! And on that note, thanks for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, give this video a like. No, I'm kidding. We still have to see if we can hear some noise out of this thing. But we're gonna take the wins when we can get them. On second thought, as I'm looking at this fuel bowl, I see what I've experienced in the past is if I take that thing off, the gasket is going to be trashed. We're probably not going to have a gasket here, which means we're probably not going to be able to put fuel in it. So what I'm going to do is put like a gallon of fuel in this thing and see if it's going to leak just for the startup. Let's find out where the battery is on this, put some power to this thing and see what lights up. If the starter works, we can't hand prop it. It's definitely a small enough engine, and these originally were a hand prop airplane, so if we have to, we'll just do that. But we'll find the battery, hopefully the starter works, then we can test if we have spark. Assuming we have spark, then we'll get some fuel in this thing, air up the tires, push it outside, see if we can hear some life out of it. Sounds like a plan to me. Lift that seat up there like that. Hey, what's that? Oh, it's the last oil filter. 71817. I'll be doggone. Okay, well, we know the last time the oil was changed. Got a lot to learn. What is that? There's more stuff down in here. Lots of Phillips screwdrivers. And a fuel sump. All right, yeah, that's tough. Oh, there's more stuff over here. More screwdrivers. I wonder how many Phillips screwdrivers. There's another one. Okay, we're not going to run short of Phillips screwdrivers. That is there another one over here? Okay, flashlight. Okay, let's see. It said it was behind here. So it must be in that thing there. Hey, there you go. Okay. There we go. Yeah, look at that. There's a couple of 2x4s in here. Precision spacers. That's... Look at that. Okay. Oh, that is heavy. Okay. Airplane people are the best. Just the guy 2 hangars down said, hey, I've got a battery that I took out of my plane that I'm not using that you guys can use since this one is really dead. And you can see the difference. See how that one's all wavy? See how that one's not? That is really bad. While we're waiting on this, I noticed this air filter that we absolutely have to take off. That you do not want to see that with an air filter. So we need to pull this thing off so that that doesn't get sucked into the engine by some miracle if it does decide to start up. Let's just go ahead and do that now. Ew. That is disgusting. Oh, wow. Oh, I can't even pull it out of there. Look at that. It just won't even come out. Oh. Wow, that's disgusting. Might leave that open in case we have to give it some morning wake-up juice. Oh, it's got plenty in it. Smells good. and say that is going to work. Once I got the replacement battery installed, it was time to flip the switch and see if anything will turn on. Oh, okay. Strobe light? Nothing worked or turned on, so I had to get a second battery and hook it up with jumper cables. Let's see if this will finally work. Still nothing turned on, but I have one more idea. We're gonna hit the button and see if it does anything. Okay. Clear prop. That's promising. Oh, the lights came on now. What? Okay, that's weird. We now have lights. Look at that. Well, okay. I'll take it, I guess. Whatever. Where's oil pressure is right there. So let's see if this thing will build some oil pressure. All right, clear prop. I'm about to discover this is going to be way more difficult than I thought. All right, give this thing a minute. It usually takes like 3 or 4 times, so.
Heard some sparks.
Oh yeah?
I think so.
Well, while we're building oil pressure, let's look for sparks. Okay, so stand back here, watch the propeller, and I'm gonna turn it over. Let's see if we can get any sparks. Now also I have to, it's only the left magneto usually that has the impulse coupling, so it's. The impulse coupling is a magic spring that you hear snapping every time the engine turns over. The magneto creates a spark to ignite the fuel in the engine so it can convert money to noise. But when the engine isn't turning fast enough, like during startup, it can't produce enough energy or the right timing to get the engine to run. The impulse coupling fixes both of these problems. As the engine turns the magneto, its little arms, known as flyweights, catches on a stop pin. The spring gets wound up until it gets tripped, releasing all that stored energy in the spring and snapping it fast enough to create the spark it needs to ignite the fuel mixture. And that's how it works. It's only the left magneto usually that has the impulse coupling, so it's only going to be one of the spark plugs that's going to spark. Which one it is, I don't know. Okay, here we go, clear prop.
Nothing on either one.
Nothing? Okay. We also have no oil pressure yet. However, I heard of an old-timey bush plane trick with these airplanes and engines that apparently if you lift the tail, it's supposed to put oil down toward the front of the engine or something like that, and that's where the oil pressure spot is. So we're going to try lifting the tail and for holding it for a minute and see if that makes any difference whatsoever, and we can finally get some oil pressure to this. I don't even know how heavy this thing is. There's nothing around the wings? Okay. How heavy do you think this is going to be? Not, not heavy at all. Yoink! So apparently, it's probably maybe 50 pounds. I don't even think it's 50 pounds. So we put it like this, then the oil goes to the front, and then magically it's supposed to work. That's what they tell me. Now let's go in here and see if we can get some oil pressure now. Okay, here we go, right there. Ready? All right, clear prop. Yep, you guessed it, nothing. This calls for extreme measures. Okay, so I'm looking on the Cessna 120-140 website. Because of the way this engine is designed, the oil pump is back here and the gears sit top and bottom on each other. And so you just have a little bit of right there. So you see how the oil pump goes, and apparently it fills up with air in this cavity if it hasn't been used in a while, and we have to get that filled up with oil. Okay, so according to this, it's just like a well. You have the oil tank that's down at the bottom, this blue, and then it has to suck oil up into the oil pump that's above it. But if there's no oil in there, it can't just suck air, so you have to get oil on the top part of it to reprime it like an oil or a water well back in the day. So we need to figure out how to get oil back to the top part of it to then pressurize and fill up the bottom so it can then suck the oil back up. Because right now it's not sucking any oil up, it's air right there. That's why it won't prime. Well, according to this article and talking to some other people, if we turn the propeller backwards, it'll push whatever oil is in the engine back into the oil pump, like in reverse, and should prime that oil, assuming there's that much oil even in the engine. So let's turn the propeller backwards a bunch and then try turning it forward and seeing if that helped, because according to the Google, that's what other people have done. So I always believe everything I see on the internet. What if we just hooked the battery up backwards? Would that make the motor spin back? Oh, this is silly. Okay, here we go. I don't know how many times I'm supposed to turn this thing backwards, but just gonna keep going until my shoulder starts hurting, I guess. All right. Okay, now let's hit the button and turn it the other way and see if that worked. If this actually worked. All right, clear prop. Here we go. Nope. Nah. That's silly. I told you that wasn't going to work. That was... I think we just got to take that fitting off and get some oil directly down into the oil pump to get it primed up. Okay, yep, let's do it. Battery is off. I think that is what we need to put oil in. It's got oil in it. I'm going to pour a little bit of oil and see if any pours out. So we got that in there, it's pretty tight. Pour a little bit of oil in there. Keep going. I think that's disappearing, so spin it around a bunch. Go for it. Just got back from lunch and talked to a feller who has done a lot of work on these, and he said I was half right with lifting the tail. He said I did not go near far enough, and that we had to literally have this spinner sitting on the ground with the tail all the way up because of the angle of things in here. So I sure hope he's right. That's just ridiculous. We gotta air the tires up, and then we gotta make sure the battery is held in, because if that goes way up like that, we don't want to have stuff falling. Was this one of those gags where they get the new guy to go get dirt hardener, or I don't know what it is, a wire stretcher or something like that? So I have a feeling this is kind of one of those deals, but I'm gonna do it anyways.
What could possibly go wrong?
It took meeting you to engineer my worst nightmare. Thank you, Jimmy.
I was hoping he wasn't gonna be here while we were doing this to see what we're doing to his most precious of things. So
Thank you for the nightmare come true.
you're welcome. He just said, can we put a pillow under the nose? This ain't your plane anymore.
You're killing me.
Well, let's just see. You know what? We may not need your truck. Right now, it is on the edge of it going forward on its own. So get on the prop and lift up on the prop to keep it from... Okay, you can go down now. Okay, it's all yours. You got it? Forgot to put the gas cap on. This makes fueling it a lot easier.
Nice that you let me set it down on its nose. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was scary.
This is such a bad idea. Boy, I sure hope this works. Okay, I think it's been long enough. If you want to go lift on the propeller gentle so that we balance it coming back down, and we'll try to put it down and see if we have any oil pressure now.
Very gentle.
Yeah, don't lift up on it too much because I'm fighting you at the same time. Yeah, go slow, you guys, and I don't want you to slam this thing on my head. Okay, slow down, slow down. Okay, keep coming. Keep coming. Okay, stop, I got it. Let more weight on me. Just relax, don't pull up. Relax. Okay, keep coming toward me. A little more, a little more. Keep coming. All right, I've got the tail wheel. Go ahead and.
It's yours?
All right, you're off?
We're off.
Oh, wow, that's right there's the wheel landing attitude.
A little bit. Right there's the wheel landing attitude.
Okay. That possibly one of the more strange things I've ever experienced. Yeah, now we have to go backwards because all of that was just to get the oil to the top and the engine side to then go backwards to be able to prime the oil pump. Okay, then apparently we go forward now. Now that we've done these strange things of spinning the propeller one way and back the other and putting it on its nose, let's connect the battery and see if that did the trick. See, the light's not coming on now.
Needs to start her again.
It did the same thing. You have to start it. All right, clip her up. If I start this engine without oil pressure, it is guaranteed to destroy the inside of that engine. But I have one last idea. Buy an airplane, they said. It'll be fun, they said. You know, that Dave Ramsey guy, I think he's wrong. He says that RVs, boats, motorhomes, and I dare say airplanes included in that lot, are a terrible use of money.
Whatever you put into a boat, a camper, or an RV, you need to be able to set that amount of money in the middle of the floor and set fire to it, and it'd be okay. Because that's basically what you're doing.
I disagree, Dave. And if you disagree with Dave, and you think this is a much better way to spend your hard-earned dollars and any hope of inheritance that your kids might have had, hit that subscribe button and let's beat Dave Ramsey and show him that airplanes are a fantastic use of funds. This other hose should be connected directly to the oil pump and should have oil in it and be pumping oil and not air. All right, go ahead with the prop going backwards. Keep going. Ooh, it's sucking it down. That's good. Keep going. Okay, slowly bring the prop forward. Stop. Backwards. Keep going. So now we heard from another old-timer guy. We're just gonna pull this line off and just crank it and crank it and crank it until about a half a quart to a whole quart of oil comes out of this thing, and then we will know for sure that it's purged. And he said, light the fire and see, and by then you know that it's going to do it. He also said that even the plugs out and us spinning it by hand is not enough to spin it fast enough to be able to push all that air through the rest of the engine and everything else, which, if I'm honest with you, all the other engines that I've ever done, I've never not been able to get oil pressure with only being able to start it. So that's why it makes me a little bit nervous, because this is a first for me. I've not ran into this issue before, and I'm afraid of what may come. Okay, where's that going to leak out of? Right there? Or all over the place because of the wind. We're just going to make a mess. Well, Steve, do you want to do the honors and go inside and crank on it? And I'll just yell at you when to stop. All right, size clear of the prop. I am clear of the prop.
Okay. All clear.
Yep, go ahead.
Master's hot. Cranking. Clear prop.
Keep going. It was starting to go. Oh yeah, look at that. Are you seeing that down there? All right. Oh yeah, I can definitely tell it was pumping out of it now. Okay, now I gotta figure out how to get that back up there.
Want a hand? I'll hold it.
Well, here we go. We're just gonna put that in the wind. Hallelujah. All we got to do now is tighten these oil lines back up, throw some gas in it, and see if this engine will start and make noise for the first time in over 7 years. We've called the fuel truck. Should be on its way over. We're gonna put these little spark boxes in. Put a like 1 gallon, I think is all I'm gonna put in this thing, because I don't know how much is gonna leak all over the ground. I have no idea if those gaskets are any good anymore. None of that stuff. So, yeah. Well, put in the comments. Do you think we're gonna have any fuel leaks? How many fuel leaks do you think we're gonna have? Maybe that's the better question. And then how many attempts at starting cranks before we hear some life out of it, or if we hear any life out of this thing or not. Before I fire this thing up, I'm going to double check the throttle and make sure it's connected and operating, because I don't want it to be stuck full throttle, start up, and then smash into a building. Yeah, don't ask me how I know that. You put that on his account. So I am looking at that fuel bowl right there, that thing. Now the fuel is turned off, so we should not be getting any fuel to it. And as soon as we turn the knob to turn it to the tank, fuel should then flow into that. And that's what I'm hoping does not have a leak in it, is around the bottom of that glass bowl there. Oh, he's already done. All right, are you turning it on to that side? Oh, there's the fuel coming in. We got fuel. Oh, and it's leaking. Sweet, that's good. So I just want to reseat this. All right, well, in pure Jimmy's World fashion, that fuel leak is not bad enough. And it's not over the exhaust directly. So I think we're good enough to see if this thing will show any life. We've got it chalked here. I have no idea if the brakes work at all. Do you want to put your truck behind it and tie the tail to it just in case? Silas, are you nervous at all?
Nah.
Not at all?
Not my play.
Fair. To be extra safe, we're gonna go ahead and tie this thing to a truck. Do you think it will start? I think it will as well. I think we've got something going on. How
12
many?
blades.
12 blades, but the
Till we
first,
hear something.
the first thing.
Yeah. What do you think?
He's brave. What about you, Slade?
I think it's gonna take 4 or 5 cranks if we're lucky.
4 or 5 cranking attempts?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think, Carter? What you said? You're with me on
4 and 5? Yeah,
if it cranks at all.
I'm gonna, hang on, I'll see if I have, hold on, I may. I'm gonna say it's gonna do it on the first try.
Now the bets are off.
First try.
4 blades.
First try. Oh, that's always the scariest thing. I forget that you can't get in this. All right. Okay, master is on, mags are on, mixture full rich. Is there a primer? Primer, there we go. Got it? Yeah. Oh, I feel prime. All right, here we go. Can I get a clear prop? Oil pressure came up. We got RPM. Woo! On that wind. If you like this, hit subscribe, give me a like, so you can see more of this. This is awesome.
You brought her back to life. Thank you.
This airplane is junk, and there is nothing we can do to fix it